President Obama was at a private fundraiser and he had some tough love for Democrats. He said he wants them to toughen up. And in these comments obtained by CNN, Obama said at a private fundraiser, quote, "I think it's going to require a little bit less navel-gazing and a little less whining and being in fetal positions."
Democrats have been angry at what this man tried to do the last time. They've been angry this time. This has not been about Democrats laying back. This has been about y'all. They were not navel-gazing. It was older people who were saying, "Why are you touching my Social Security?" It was not people whining. It was about people saying, "Why are you taking these rights from my child when my child was born here?"
Come forward with the secondary plan that isn't just march against ICE agents in sanctuary cities. People want common sense solutions.
Guys, the cackling hens are back and they are triggered because how dare Mark Cuban and Barack Hussein Obama come out and say the message of orange man bad from the Democrats is not going to be enough to win elections. It's not enough to garner support. They don't understand that fear-mongering and having Trump derangement just out of this world, always being on like a 20 out of 10 in terms of Trump derangement is not enough. This is a very obvious message. Closing the border, bad. ICE deporting people, bad. Averting World War III, bad. Tariffs, bad, bad, bad. Everything is bad. I've never seen so many tariff experts in my life. A bunch of people who didn't even graduate high school or get a GED, half of them, all of a sudden they're tariff experts. It's pathetic. But what's even more pathetic is not accepting any criticism of your party. You're talking about a divided party here because now you can't even say that, hey, the party's doing something wrong. Here's how we improve it to win. This is how you know that you are a dying party if you can't even have any dissent in the party without people saying, "Hey, how dare you say something about this party? How dare you?" Whoopi Goldberg is the main culprit here who's triggered, and she claims to not even be a Democrat. Can you guys believe this? I can't believe the foolery, the stupidity, the gaslighting to try to say that you're not a Democrat when you defend every single Democrat thing. You voted for every single Democrat your entire life, never voted for a Republican ever, and you denounce every single thing Republicans do. These people are just straight up stupid. Without further ado, let's go ahead and react to this.
Talking about what Democrats need to do, and President Obama had a blunt message for Democrats at a private fundraiser in New Jersey over the weekend. Toughen up, he says. Democrats need to speak out more forcefully against you-know-who. That they should stop looking for a messiah, and it's going to require less navel-gazing and a little less whining. Now, billionaire Mark Cuban also took aim at political messaging on the left. Take a look.
We picked the wrong pressure points. It's just Trump sucks. That's the underlying, thought of everything the Democrats do. Trump sucks. Trump says, the sky is blue. Trump sucks. You can't, that's not the way to win. It's just not, because it's not about Trump.
Let me know if, before we continue, let me know if it makes sense what Cuban is saying. Now, he was real dumb during the Kamala campaign. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but whatever. He thought he was doing something right. He didn't know what he was doing. But does this not make sense? You have to stand for something, and what you stand for can't just be the opposite of what everything Trump says. It doesn't make any sense.
About the people of the United States of America and what's good for them. And how do you get them to a place where they're in a better position?
Okay.
Okay, the audience clapped. I'm just saying, the audience seemed to like that, but Whoopi Goldberg has a problem.
Yeah.
Of course she does.
Okay, so let me remind everybody who was out in the front lines marching when we had the giant marches that went on. It was the people. The people went out. They were not navel-gazing. It was older people who were saying, "Why are you touching my Social Security?" It was not people whining. It was about people saying, "Why are you taking these rights from my child when my child was born here?" This has not been about Democrats laying back. This has been about y'all. This has been about y'all because their messaging was always the same. Democrats have been angry at what this man tried to do the last time. They've been angry this time. So with much due respect to you both, I believe you are pointing the finger at the wrong person when you say Democrats.
Are you delineating between voters and elected officials?
Yes, I am.
You're saying that, because I agree, voters are
Yes.
very impassioned.
Voters, and when you say Democrats, he's talking to us saying our messaging is bad, and I'm saying no.
This is why I say Whoopi Goldberg is an absolute moron. I hope somebody please send this to Whoopi Goldberg. She is one of the stupidest, dumbest people on all of television. You know, if people like Jasmine Crockett didn't exist, then I would just say Whoopi Goldberg was the dumbest. But clearly, they're talking about leaders. They're not talking about voters. They're talking about the leaders, because the leaders are the people who, how the hell are you, this doesn't make any sense. How the hell would he have been talking about the voters? The leaders are the ones who are the leaders. They're the ones who are doing the whining. They're the ones who are leading the charge, and the voters follow suit. Obviously, in order to get support, the leaders have to change. The people who are the primary talkers, the Crockett's, the AOC's, the Schumers, the Jeffries, those types of people need to do more than whine. So what the hell is Whoopi Goldberg? She's basically saying, he's talking about, ain't nobody worried about your old ass Whoopi Goldberg. Like, you think that people consider you a leader? Give me a freaking break.
No, our messaging has not been bad because people have been out.
Well,
people have been cranky.
I agree with you. I was in one of those protests, and I saw little children. I saw older people. I saw people in wheelchairs. I saw all sorts of people gathering together and protesting, despite the fact that we are living in a country where there is retribution. There is retribution if you post. There is retribution. There's, there's a lot of.
Imagine saying there's retribution. You get on TV and you crap on Trump and talk smack every single day. Nothing's happened to your money. You haven't been investigated. Nobody's put you in jail. Nobody's deported you, your family, your significant others. Nothing. The show's still on the air, and then you're trying to claim retribution. This is what I mean when I say that this is stupid and is gaslighting. And if you happen to believe Ana Navarro, I honestly think you should feel a little slow. You feel a little dumb, and I definitely don't have a whole lot of respect for you if you actually believe anything that this clown is saying, sitting up here, making her millions of dollars, sitting up here, keeping you afraid, and meanwhile, nothing's happened to her or anybody else that's an American.
Fear. And I do think that there are things that are working.
I believe in what both of these men are saying in regard to elected Democrats.
Yes.
So I took the message very differently. The American people and Democrats marching to the streets are doing what they have the power to do between elections. I get that. But I would argue that right now, Anna, you just pointed out how much Trump is losing his popularity. He was voted in on immigration. He's now losing it. It would be a ripe time.
I think that they're trying to make some sort of argument that he's losing on immigration. The polls reflect that they want Trump to deport all illegal aliens.
These were all taken within the last month. And there's real uniformity here. That's what I really think you see. You see real uniformity. Deporting all immigrants who are here illegally, 55% of the New York Times. Marquette, 64%. CBS News, 57%. ABC News with a slightly different question, 56%. So what you're seeing essentially here is a very clear indication that a majority of Americans, in fact, when they're asked this blunt question, which I believe gets at the underlying feelings, do in fact want to deport all immigrants who are here illegally. There's no arguing with these different numbers because they're all essentially the same across 4 different pollsters.
The reason why he might lose on some polls in regard to how do you feel about Trump's handling of illegal immigration is because he hasn't done enough to deport people faster. You can't have both things cannot possibly be true that, one, the polls say that Americans want all illegal immigrants to be deported, and 2, they're not happy with the way Trump's handling it. No, they want all illegal immigrants to be deported. In order for that to happen, they need to be ICE raids. And number 2, they want more to happen. They're not happy at the way that the courts have been weaponized to prevent illegal immigration and people flying over to El Salvador to save illegal aliens. That's what they're not happy about.
Some elected Democrats come forward with the secondary plan that isn't just march against ICE agents in sanctuary cities. People want common sense solutions, and no Democrat is coming out and saying this is a decades-old log problem. It crosses all administrations. But here's what I'm proposing. I've heard none of that, and that's what I would encourage people in the Democratic Party to do, because midterms come up in another year and a half.
Let's make sure we're talking about the elected officials.
Yeah, I just
want to
elected
make that.
officials,
Yeah,
elected
I just
officials.
want to make sure.
Am I the only one who thinks that Sarah and Alyssa Farah are undercover? I mean, it seems to me like they're undercover conservatives, but they just like don't want to admit it because they know they're not gonna like fit in with the show or something. But that's what it really seems like, because every now and again they say things that make sense. They talk with good sense, and it seems like they're just kind of there on the panel like looking sideways like, man, these women are just bad-ish crazy and they don't know what to do. They're like, I want to keep getting my check, but I don't know what to do. But guys, this is a classic example of what foolery and just being effectively a dumbass kind of looks like, because Whoopi Goldberg is dumb, Sunny Holston is totally deranged, Anna Navarro is a complete nutcase, if you couldn't tell by my last video. So there's really nothing to be gained from these women. The only thing you can really do is just sit up here, criticize them, and laugh at them each and every single day until eventually they become such a big laughingstock that they're either they leave the show willingly because they're just tired of it, or the show is canceled. But anyway, guys, these are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
He's pretty scoldy. He is very scoldy these days. And he talked a lot about how people are not stepping up and doing their part, and how people have been folding and not really standing up tall. And I just don't think that that goes down very well anymore. We saw that in the run-up to the election, where he was sort of telling black men that they needed, in solidarity, to vote for a black woman. And I think that that kind of scoldy Obama really doesn't play to the Democratic base anymore.